Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. This is something. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Vayam Rupa Kadam Shram Tadati Sabadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupam Sagratam Sahagranathanvitam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Karyanasetam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagranata Shri Vishakhanvidamsya Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Vidyamne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshishunyavadi Paschatyadesikagane Anchākalpatarupasya Prabhasindukvevacha Padkanam Pavaribhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Ashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyutamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya. Welcome all of you to the Srimad Bhagavatam this morning. We are discussing a series of pastimes, and today, tomorrow, and after 3 days. The beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam is the Srimad Bhagavatam is full of narration of the Lord's beautiful pastimes, filled with His sublime divine qualities. Along with that, they are also replete with spiritual instructions for the readers and hearers as we proceed through the pastimes. So you get the joy of hearing the pastime, which brings us closer to understanding Lord's divinity. But we also, side by side, carry many lessons for ourselves. So I will show you a very quick run through of what we will do in today, tomorrow, day after. So that, and then you will see that each of these days I am going to focus on one section of this chapter. In the 50th chapter of the 10th canto, entitled Krishna Establishing the City of Dwarka. Prior to this, Krishna has killed Kansa, the demon, who has been extremely atrocious, arrogant. He would talk in a way overthrowing everybody. he calls us Ugrasena to Stavinam, he says. Rajya Kamakam, he calls him. Ugrasena, his father, he calls him as oldie, and he is calling him as a Rajya Kamakam, who is attached to the position of a king. Actually, this fellow is attached to the position of a king. Who? Kansa himself. And he is calling Ugrasena as attached to the position. Krishna only as, actually, you will see that even when Kansa was killed, Krishna didn't want to be the king himself. He posted Ugrasena as a respectable superior. But here you see Kansa is telling he is oldie and he is Raja Kamakam. And he is telling, I will kill Vasudeva, I will kill Balaram, I will kill Krishna, I will finish everybody. And then he is saying, Jarasandha Mama Guru. Jarasandha is my respectable superior because he gave his two daughters in marriage to Kansa, Asti and Prati. So, this way you will find Jarasandha's arrogant speech you will find. But the nature of demons in this world has been like this always. So, of course, he talked big things, but eventually he was destroyed. Over a period of time, Krishna finished him. After that, his two wives, Asti Prati, went to Jarasandha, their father, and cried that Krishna has killed Kamsa and everything. So, Jarasandha wanted to take revenge. He became angry. So, he said, I will rid the earth of all the Yadavas. The whole Yadav dynasty had finished. So, he brought 23 Akshavini divisions. 23 Akshavini divisions. You can imagine, it's a huge thing. So, like a vast ocean, he brought the soldiers. At the time, Krishna contemplated on seeing the army. He understood that Jarasandha will be ruthless in attacking his army, and he will also try to destroy the Krishna's devotees, the people. So Krishna contemplated on making a protection mechanism for that. On one hand, he wanted to destroy Jarasandha. On the other hand, he wanted to see all his subjects protected. There's one verse in the Bhagavatam which says, Govinda Bhujaguptaya. It says, Bhuja means the arms. The Dwarkavasis are always protected by the arms of Krishna. Imagine if a child is within the embrace of the mother, nobody can harm the child. Similarly, he protected his citizens very wonderfully. At that time, when Krishna Balaram decided to wage the war to end their religion, a chariot came flying in the skyway and came exactly in front of Krishna Balaram and stood up. And then Lord Krishna spoke to Balaram. He's saying, see the danger that beset on the Yadus. Your personal chariot and weapons have come now. Simply by your desiring them. We came here for this purpose. Please remove the burden of the earth. Like that Krishna is telling to Balaram. And they, from the chariot, they wore the armor and drove out of the city with their army. They drove out. And Krishna came with Dwarka as the chariot driver and blowing the conch shells. Enemy soldiers' heart began to tremble in fear. So at that time, there was a little conversation between Jarasandha and Jarasandha said, hey Krishna, you are a coward. I don't want to fight with you. You always have been hiding in Vrindavan and killing so many demons sent by Kansa. I don't want to fight with you. You are also younger to me. You move also. I want to fight with Balaram. He is my comeback. So Krishna tells Balaram, you take the lead. And then Krishna attacks the rest of the army. It's a very valiant battle that follows. You will see the rest of the army was finished. There was a river of blood. In this world, the Lord comes to destroy the demons and protect the devotees and establish dharma. As one of his main activities, he comes here. So, Jarasandha lost all his soldiers in chariot. And Balaram captured Jarasandha like a lion. And with his divine news of Varuna, he tied him up. And Krishna stopped Balaram and said, please don't kill him, leave him, because he will go and bring more demons. So then he was sent away. So he was Jarasandha was so feeling bad and sad. He felt I'll go to the forest and give up my kingship and just perform austerities and finish my life. That was the idea. But his demoniac associates gave him false hopes and false confidence and told him that no, you go on and on, my dear king, we are all with you. You are very great. Now, once in a while, a small defeat you have to accept, go on. It's not once in a while. He was defeated 78 times by Krishna. And then all the citizens celebrated Krishna and Ram's victory. And this way, they defeated Jarasandha 17 times and he brought more and more demons. And this became very helpful for Krishna Balram to kill all the demons in bunches. So they would bunch up the demons and bring, and all demons would be finished. Because gathering demons would take some time. And that time was made easy by Jarasandha, the Lord, isn't it? Yeah. So in this way, by the valiant battle, Krishna Balram finished all the demoniac forces. Now, when the 18th battle was about to start with Jarasandha, at that time, one another demon came called Kalyavana, barbarian. He came with 30 million soldiers. So, and this Kalyavana, he had met Narada Muni and asked, who is the person in this world, who is my comeback to fight with? So, and then Narada said, there is one special personality has appeared in this world. His name is Vasudeva. He is actually born to finish you. You should go and fight with him. And then he asked, how does he look like? So he heard all the description. And then with that awareness of how Vasudeva looks like, with that awareness he came to Mathura. So now there are two armies coming. 123 Akshayavana is coming, with again Jarasandha is recollecting his army and coming. And Kalyavana is coming from the other side. It's like two big oceans coming and towards Mathura. So Lord Krishna thought that if we are attacking one of the armies, the other armies will finish the citizens. So that is the time Lord decided to construct Dwaraka. So there's a beautiful description of Dwaraka city. Lord arranged for Vishwakarma to build a city with avenues, roads, plots, gardens, trees, creepers from the heavenly planets. And towers were touching the sky, and every house had a watchtower, a temple. And all the citizens and four social orders moved by the Lord to the city. Which means the people slept in Mathura. Next morning they opened their eyes, they were in Dwaraka. God transported them. Sudharma Assembly Hall came from the heavenly planets now. This way Lord Krishna, see, Lord Krishna directed the Dwaraka fort and surrounded by the oceans. It was completely protected. Nobody could touch any of the citizens. After offering complete protection and safety to his citizens, then Krishna turned to Balram and said, now we can face these two fellows. So this way Lord transferred Mathura Vasis to Dwaraka by his Yomaya potency. And Balram remained in Mathura to protect Mathura. And then Lord went out of the city by the main gate. So this is the 50th chapter. And then the deliverance of Uchukunda. In this chapter, there is an episode of Kalyavana. And the next chapter on Rukmini's letter, there is an episode of Jarasandha chasing after Krishna. So I had given the heading, Standing Lessons from Running Krishna. So one of the first standing lessons we will take is not this chapter. I am purposefully going to the next chapter because the Jarasandha chasing after Krishna should be discussed first in order to understand the Krishna's position, Krishna Balram's position. And then we will come to Kalyavana chasing after Krishna. So I will keep this for this is another past time, we'll come back to this. Now we will hear Krishna Balram, the apple of eye, Dwaraka. All the others, they are happy, everybody is happy. So now, here you find in the picture, in this chapter 51, before the Rukmini's letter arrives for Krishna. Krishna saw that Kalyavana is now coming with his army. But if I am going to fight with him, this one is Jarasandha. Jarasandha is coming with his army to attack. At that time, Krishna had another very important work, which is to attend to the Brahmana who has been sent by Rukmini. So then Krishna decided that I am not going to fight. I am going to walk out. So you will see that this is the chapter. Rukmini message Krishna. We will read this one. This is Jarasandha. Eager to fight again because he has been defeated 17 times. It's the 18th time he is coming running. But then Krishna is in no mood to fight. Krishna is going away. So Krishna and Balaram are fleeing from the battlefield. Is it due to fear of Jarasandha that they are fleeing away? Lord is not fearful about anyone. He is master of all mystics. Why should you fear? So we will see that in this chapter now. We are going to read this 52nd chapter now, currently, in today's session. This was the matter. Why he went away? Because Rukmini had sent one Brahman. The Lord wanted to attend to that letter. Therefore, he became Ranachod. He left the battle and ran away. He met the Brahman, read the letter and responded to that. Of course, later on he finished Jarasandha like this. They went as 3 Brahmins. You know that? Who are these 3? Bhim, Arjun, and Krishna. The 3 went in the dressed like Brahmins. And then they arranged for Jarasandha to be finished through Bhima. They asked for charity of fight, dual fight, and then it was finished. So let us go into the chapter. So, okay, this is the 10th canto, 52nd chapter. The Lord returned to Mathura, which was surrounded by Yavanas. And then he destroyed the army of barbarians and began taking their valuables to Dwaraka. And then he's saying, and the wealth was being carried with oxen and men under Lord Krishna's direction. Jarasandha appeared at the head of 23 armies for the 18th battle. Jarasandha is coming now. Vilokya Vega Ravasam Alapit. Jetu Sanjasya Madhavau. Anshireshta Mapannau. Rajan Gudruvaturdutam. See, here he's saying that from here there are 5 shlokas I'm going to show you now. These 5 verses, how Krishna is not ordinary, Krishna Balaram are not ordinary human beings becomes evident. So for that you have to very attentively refer to certain words used here. Here you see, Madhava word is used. Madhava means one Madhava. Madhava means dual. Dual. So there's a dual and there's a plural in Sanskrit. Singular, dual, plural. So 2 Madhavas it says. Who are the 2 Madhavas? Krishna and Balaram. Yeah. And then his 3rd line says, Manushya Cheshta Mapanna. Manushya Cheshta means they imitated the behavior of a human being. What does that mean? That means they are not human beings. They are copying, they are imitating the behavior of a human being. Sometimes your father may, run away from the child. A child may think father is afraid. Is the father afraid? But the father may imitate the behavior of an afraid person, fearful person. Like that, Manushya Cheshta Apanna, accepting a behavior like human. What they did? Rajan, Parishit, Dudruvatur Drutam. They ran away very quickly from that place, as I showed you the PPT, isn't it? So therefore, it is not, they are not running out of fear, but they are running, imitating the behavior. The next verse is, Vihaya vittam pracharam, avido viru vitavat, padvyam padmapalashabhyam, chedur yojanam. Vihaya vittam, Vihaya means to give up. All the cartloads of gold, silver, diamond and accumulated in the battle. They give it all up. Abhitav means not afraid. Bhiru means coward. Bhitavat means as if afraid. Although they are not afraid, they behave like a coward. The behavior, like a cowardly person running away, like that they ran. Although they were not afraid. Why should they do that? If they are not afraid, then why should they behave as if they were afraid? That's the meaning of Leela, correct? No? And then he's saying, Padbyam, Padmapalashabhyam. Their feet were like lotus feet. Padmapalashabhyam. Exactly like lotus feet. Chevatur, Bhuyojana, he says. They ran a long distance. From 900 years, they ran a very long distance with the tender feet in the forest area, which is filled with pebbles and grasses and thickets and things like that. So this is another interesting thing. See the second point I marked there, that Bhiru Bhitavat. Bhitavat means like afraid. Bhita means what? Fear. Bhitavat means what?
Like fear.
Like fear. What's the meaning of like fear? Why it says Bhitavat? That means they are not afraid. As if afraid. Like a cowardly person may be afraid. In that way, they pretended to be afraid. It says like that. But what was their actual disposition of heart? Abhitav, it says. Abhitav means unafraid. Abhitav. Bhitav means fear. Abhitav means not fearful. They were not fearful, but Bhiru Bhitavat. They pretended to be as if they were afraid. And then the third line it says, Padvyam Padmapalashabhyam. They ran with a tender lotus-like feet, long distance, 8 miles distance. See, one yojana is 8 miles distance, so there are many yojanas. So imagine a newborn baby with a tender feet, can it run in the forest? Long distance. That feet was tender, but they ran a very long distance, it says. Now then he says, Palayamano tau drishtva Magada prasambali Anvadavatadani kai Ishayora pramanaver. Yeah, Palayamana means running. Seeing them run. Magada means, who is Magada? Magadadeshwara Raja, his name is Tarasandaya. Prahasan Bali. Hasan means to hasna, to laugh. Very angrily and very in a ridiculing mood he laughed. Look at these guys, these two fellows. They're afraid of me, they're running away. See, this is the meaning of Asura, demon. Because 17 times he has been kicked off, thrown out of the battle. 17 times he had no, all the demons he brought are all destroyed. And he has been singled out again and again and again, and he was completely disheartened. He was supposed to go to forest to austerities now. After being stripped of everything, now 18th time he is shamelessly coming again, and he is laughing, thinking that they are running. This is the mentality of Asura becomes evident here. And then he also ran behind them, Anvadavat, Rathani Kai. But they were running barefoot, but this Jarasandha was running on chariot. Rathani Kai, it says. Ishiyo Apramanavit. Ishiyo means Isha means Lord. Ishayoho means two lords. Apramanavit. Praman means to estimate. Apraman means you cannot estimate their power. With means knower. Apramanavit means this fellow did not know the power of the two lords, he says. Unaware of the scope of the power of these two great personalities, two lords. These are the two supreme Ishwaras, Krishna Balaram, and the entire creation. This is the fourth point which talks about how the two personalities appear like two boys, but they are the two personalities who are behind the millions of universes and the creation of the whole existence. Everyone and everything is moving by the Supreme Lord, Ishayora Pramanave. So he ran behind them. Pradutyadoram samshrantau Kindamaruhatam girim Pravashanakyam bhagavan Nityadayatra varshati. So generally, when you run a long distance, you get tired. Imagine there are many yojanas, it is said. If there are 10 yojanas, 80 miles distance. After running such a long distance, naturally they will be exhausted. So samshranta word is used. Pradutya, duram, samshranta, naturally they would be tired. Tungamarvatam giri, it says. They climbed a very high mountain immediately. When you run a long distance and you are tired, what you will do? Will you climb up or you will lie down? Yeah. Here they are climbing up a very big mountain. And the name of the mountain is Pravashanakyam. Akyam means the name. Pravarshana mountain. Nityadayatra varshati. Regularly there are rains in that mountain. He says. Apparently exhausted after fleeing a long distance, the two lords climbed a high mountain named Pravarshana, upon which Lord Indra showers incessant rain. So, although he knew they were hiding on the mountain, inside the greenery of the mountain, the rest could not locate them. Therefore, the king placed firewood on all sides and set the mountain ablaze. His idea was let them get roasted inside the mountain, and they won't be able to escape with their lives. See the purport here. Clearly, we are observing one of the Supreme Lord's transcendental pastimes. Although the Bhagavatam states that the two lords, Krishna and Balarama, were exhausted, even in their so-called exhausted state, they were able to quickly climb a high mountain and shortly thereafter jump off it to the ground. It would be unwise and illogical to ignore the whole picture the sages are giving us here and instead try to pick apart isolated descriptions. Clearly, we are watching the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the midst of his spiritual pastimes. We are not observing an ordinary human being. Lord Krishna and Balaram were still quiet young men when this pastime took place. And one can easily see in these descriptions how they must have been enjoying themselves. Eagerly fleeing from somewhat ridiculous King Jarasandha, racing up a mountain, jumping off, and totally befuddling the constantly failing demon, who somehow or other never lost confidence in himself. Seen without envy or quarrelsomeness, Lord's pastimes are immensely entertaining. Why he's saying it's entertaining? Sometimes a father is chased by a small kid with a stick, and father keeps running, and the kid runs behind, and he is thinking, "I'm going to beat up the father." Correct? And the father also runs and then looks behind and runs, and looks behind and runs like this. And the child has more fun, seeing that he is afraid of me. Father is not afraid; he's doing it for fun, just to entertain his devotees. Krishna is doing this. Yeah. Tada utpatti tarasa Lakhyamana Tatadubhau Dashaika Yojana Tungan Vipetuladu Bhuvi. See, Dashayeka Yojana Tungan is saying 11 yojanas. So it's like 90 miles there. So very high mountain. From there, Nipedatu, he jumped off. Adhu means below. Bhuvi, on the ground. Two of them then suddenly jumped from the burning mountain, which was down even as I entered the ground. Alakshamano Ripuna Chanukene Duttamau Sabadam Padayato Samantapanikam Kripa. Yeah. Unseen by their opponent or his followers, O king, these two most exalted devils returned to the city of Dwarka, which had the ocean as a protective moat. So this is the next verse. Immediately you can see that unseen by the Ram followers, the two most exalted devils returned to the city of Dwarka, which means, I was telling you how this is the high jump they did from the mountain, Krishna Balram. And jumping from such a great height of mountain, they just walked off. So you can imagine how powerful this personalities are. Yeah, no human being can survive such a jump. Yeah. If somebody jumped, somebody may say they may get fractured. There's no question of fracture. You will not even be able to count the bones. That's such a great height. Like in IIT Hyderabad, three boys jumped off in Sanskrit in the same year, 2019. And the body completely broke into pieces, bones. On the spot they died. So here is jumping from such a great height. So therefore the pastimes of the Supreme Lord are not ordinary. Sopi dagda viti vrisha manmano balakeshavau manmano balakeshavau. Bala means Balaram, Keshava means Krishna. Balam akrishya sumahan agadan magado yayo. Jarasandha moreover mistakenly thought that Balaram and Keshava had burned to death in the fire. Thus he withdrew his vast military force and returned to the Magadha kingdom. And later on, by advice of Uddhava, Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna will become Krishna. So, in this way, you will see that, this is the reason why Lord went away. Bhagavan Govinda Upayena Kulubha Paidharvim Bhishmakasutam Shriyo Matram Swayambare Pramakta Talasaragyaha Shalvari Chaityapakshakan Pashyanam Sarvalokanam Dakshaputra Sudhamiva. You will see, here among the Gurus, the Supreme Lord himself, Govinda married Krishna, and he was a direct expansion of the goddess of fortune. The Lord did this by her desire. And in the process, he bent down Shalva and other kings who took Shishpala aside. Indeed, as everyone passed Krishna to Rukmini, just as Garuda boldly saw the nectar of the gods. Yeah. So now this is the first pastime I was planning to speak today. At what we read till now, in the pastime of in this chapter, it is Jarasandha chasing after. It is Jarasandha chasing after Krishna, and Krishna running away. So in each of these pastimes, you will see why Krishna ran away and why he did not get captured. These two questions we can ask. Here, Krishna ran away for a higher cause. What is the higher cause here? Because he wanted to attend to the Brahman who is sent by Rukmini. That's very crucial, very important. Otherwise, Bhishmaka, the father of Rukmini, wanted to also agree with Rukmini's desire of marrying Krishna. But even the other four brothers had agreed also. But the eldest brother, whose name was Rukmi, that Rukmi was an envious person. He was very close to Jarasandha. And he was also very close to Shishupal. So because of having such bad friendships, in that association, he made up his mind that I want to give my sister in marriage to Shishupal. Other than him, all others were ready. They have no issue about Rukmini marrying. So Acharyas have said that Rukmini is like the jiva And the eldest brother, Rukmi, he is like the mind. And the other brothers are like the senses. So in the body, the senses are subordinate to the mind. So if the mind decides to do something, then the senses are unable to do anything else other than that. Senses have to simply follow the mind, and forced by the mind to follow. Like if the mind decides to chant Hare Krishna and then do some devotional activities, then the senses also cooperate with the mind. You will see that. You also worship the deity, you do some seva. But if the mind goes in the wrong direction, mind wants to go to the movie, then the legs are taking the mind to the movie, and then the hand is purchasing the ticket. All the senses are cooperating with the plans of the mind like that. So that's what happened. So much so, the Vishmaka, the father, he is supposed to be intelligence. He's supposed to be the father of Rukmi. Sometimes even intelligence can be dragged by the mind sometimes, cheated by the mind, because mind is the next door neighbor of intelligence. There's a Bhishmaka due to the Putra Sneha, due to the weakness of attachment to his son, even father couldn't say no. So at that time, Rukmini understood that now I am in very great danger now. I will be forced to marry Shishupal within the third day from today or something like that. So then she sent this Brahman. So Krishna understood that my dear devotee Rukmini has to be saved. So there's no point joining the battle here. Although he defeated Jarasandha 17 times, now he is going away. Krishna is going away. It's called Ranachud. In Gujarat, it's very famous. So, in this way, whenever Lord Krishna does anything, why he does what he does, only he knows. Otherwise, you can know it from the very confidential devotees like Krishna Prabhupada, Acharya. Otherwise, you can never come to know. Why the like Lord is asking Bhishma to be on the other side of the battle because he wants to enjoy the Virya Rasa. Yeah, why he does what he does. Lord supported the Draupadi's decision of releasing Ashwatthama because Ashwatthama was supposed to send the Brahmastra to finish the last child, Parikshit. Now, I mean, later on, by which, because Lord knows what is about to Vedaham Samadhitani Vartamana Jardana, he says, Avishchani Bhutani Mam Vedana Krishna. So, Lord has some intention in whatever he does. So, when you see the activities of the Lord superficially running to the battlefield, most of the atheistic fools, they will come to sweeping conclusions by seeing Krishna's activities superficially. Krishna is dancing with the gopis, Krishna is stealing butter, Krishna is running away from the battlefield. They will see these activities and conclude that he is also like an ordinary man. And because of this, they commit a terrible blasphemy, due to which they go to the glide down to hell. So therefore in Gita, Krishna says, Divyam, one should see the divinity in my actions. So in today's class we saw, I showed you 5 slokas about how when Jarasandha chased after the Lord, in each of those steps, he manifests his divinity in his actions, whether it is jumping off from the mountain, and whether it is pretending to run as if he is fearful. And also, even after running a long distance, climbing up a very tall hill, like that. So, there, and also the celestial chariot is coming and avoiding all the weapons to Krishna Balaram, which shows that in this world, everything moves according to his will. Correct? He desires and it will be done. He has the Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. Anything he wants, he can instantly do it. And also, another lesson we learn from this is the Jarasandha who is chasing behind the Lord. Such sinners like Jarasandha will never be able to capture the Lord because their intention is to kill the Lord. They are running behind the Lord to kill the Lord. People like Jarasandha, Shishupal, and Dandavakra, and these kind of people, they will also sometimes have an assembly where they discuss about Krishna's activities. Like Kansa, Jarasandha, Shishupal. They will say that how Krishna killed different demons. They also have Krishna Katha, but it's an envious Katha. It is. Because at the end of the Katha, they will always talk about how to come up with another idea to finish Krishna. So one place Prabhupada says about the scholars and misinterpreters of Bhagavad Gita. They are also very similar to these fellows. Jarasandha, Shishupal, Kamsa. Why? These people are trying to physically kill Krishna, and those fellows are trying to misinterpret the writings of Krishna, and by misleading the innocent creatures of this world. Both are demons. These are physical demons, and those are intellectual demons. Two types of demons, Prabhupada says. So, therefore, the world has been saved from the intellectual perverted geniuses and intellectual demons by the Vaishnava commentaries of Acharyas like Prabhupada, who have saved the world. Because if you go to internet, also there is so much misunderstanding about Krishna and the gopis and dance and everything. Because even the best of the scholars, the most learned scholars, cannot understand the Lord of activities. So just as Jarasandha failed to capture Krishna, the mundane wranglers and misinterpreters will fail to capture the Lord. They will not be able to touch the Lord. Lord reserves the right of not being touched by them, not being approached by them. And Lord, at the same time, they will not be spared. The Lord destroyed Jarasandha very soon, subsequently bringing Bhima, and Bhima tore Jarasandha into pieces. And Lord guided him how to do that successfully and finished it. So the demons on one hand cannot capture the Lord, on the other hand they will be finished by the Lord. At the same time, the Lord has his own goal and purposes to be accomplished at every moment. What he does, why he does what he does is a great mystery which can be revealed and known from the heart of great Vaishnavas. Dharmasya Tattvam Nitam Guhayam Mahajanam Yenagada Sapranta. So today we discuss this 52nd chapter of Jarasandha chasing after Krishna. So tomorrow we will discuss about Kalyavana chasing after Krishna. And then day after we'll discuss about Yashoda chasing after Krishna. Yeah. And all these three are, three different, very unique situations. Why Krishna did it. So here in Jarasandha's chasing after Krishna, you see Jarasandha later on, when Shishupal saw that Krishna has taken Rukmini away. So when Rukmini was taken away by Krishna in the chariot, at that time Shishupal became so angry and so depressed completely. At that time Jarasandha came in the front and said, "Hey Shishupal, why are you so depressed? You are so depressed as if your wife has been taken away. She is not your wife, you are not married to her. You aspired to marry her, but you lost her. But don't worry, in this world, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Every time, everybody is not victorious every time. Even I lost my, he said, some people may say that I lost battle with Krishna, but the 18th time, even I gave a good chase to Krishna. I drove him, like that he tells. Somebody told Jarasandha, but sir, we heard that 70 times you were defeated. You didn't say about that. Because that's a small detail, don't ask about that. The demons will not tell the total facts. They will hide the facts and they only tell things which are in favor of them. So this fellow was a hopeless, depressed fellow, Jarasandha. He was planned to go for austerities. Somebody encouraged him. Now he is encouraging Shishupal. So this is the way the demons are birds of the same feather, flock together. The demons encourage one another to smoke and drink and degrade and go to hell together. That's their mentality. So we can see the Lord dealing on one hand with demons, the other hand with devotees. Here with respect to Jarasandha, the Lord is running away from. With respect to Rukmini, the Lord is running towards her. So the devotee's devotion is attracting the Lord. And even in the precarious position, Rukmini is in a difficult position. Lord is ready to go and protect her, save her, take her away. On the other hand, with Jarasandha, he doesn't even want to look at his face. Just get lost. Lord has rejected. So, therefore, the great lesson for us is we should study the spiritual literature in such a way that that should enhance our devotion to Him, so that Lord's glance and grace will come towards us rather than go away from us. Because people like Jarasandha, their behavior was such that Lord was having no interest in that. And Lord wanted these fellows to get purified through death in the battle, and they wanted these demons to get rid of their enemy. So Lord, Naham Prakash Sarvasya Yogamaya Samapati. Lord says, I don't expose my beauty and sweetness, kindness to these demons because they don't deserve it. Lord has rejected them. Yeah. Any one question? Anybody?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Like you mentioned the analogy of Krishna not being able to chased by the demons of his time. You gave the analogy of intellectual demons today,
Yes.
who are trying to influence by their own philosophies and like which are not in tune with the scriptures. So like especially I saw this problem. So like social sciences, students who study social science are being influenced by professors who are like who are of different ideologies, but they but the overall environment is such that the students who are not that strong in bhakti, like who are not very strong, who don't have very strong bhakti background at their homes, or even if like personally they are not strong, those who are in middle kind of thing, they get attracted towards these professors' books, and it is then like it becomes very difficult to go and talk about the scriptures with them because they have their own
all the other rubbish.
Yeah, and especially to preach in that environment, they don't allow people. The universities also are such that they don't allow people to enter. ISKCON to enter or any other.
Okay, I'll tell you answer this question. See, okay, let us assume that some university tells you ISKCON can enter and give lecture for all our 5,000 students. Even if you give this type of lectures for 5,000 students, do you think they all will take the feedback and start becoming devotees? You will see that the majority of the people are not ready for direct spirituality. You will see that. Actually, majority of the people want sense gratification. The mass of people. It's not the colleges don't permit, therefore we can't make the good. Nowadays, I have 2 dozen invitations to Pune, many colleges, symbiosis, even SRM, Andhra Pradesh University they have prescribed the elective course we are giving. It's a 45 hours they have given us. It's a credited course. They're giving 4 credits for that. They're giving. Similarly, now NITs also have started. NIT Warangal is giving a Bhagavad Gita course now. That is also in a course, there are 210 students have joined in that course also. So many colleges students are joining the value education courses. But even if the college says you give for the whole college, do we have teachers who can go and give for the whole college? Do we have so many teachers? Because what happens, Karmi teachers are all paid. And they have a Prabhupada said the Karmi's education system is very good system. Prabhupada said they have a Pakka system there. Correct now? 30 universities, study laboratories, classroom setups, crores of rupees. Some of the IIT boys who passed out and came to America, when they made billions of dollars, then like one boy in IIT Kharagpur has given a huge, some 50 crore, 100 crore they have given to make the labs, correct now? In IIT Kharagpur, one boy has given to make an entire building. He has given money, 50 crore, 100 like that they have given. It's in IIT Kharagpur. So they're making a whole building, one boy, because he has become a big entrepreneur after coming to America. So that means these people reinforce material flourishment. You will see that they're doing like that. On the other hand, because for them, this is the main bread and butter. Correct now? Now, as devotees, many of the devotees have their jobs, profession, and side by side they're doing little preaching. Correct now? So even if the doors are opened for you, you have to ask the question, are you ready to give lecture to so many thousands of people, number one? Do you have manpower to give lectures? And even if you give lecture also, how many of them will be interested to take Krishna consciousness in the way that you are taking up? Section of the devotees, serious devotees wanting to go back to God. Therefore, what we should do is, we should know that if somebody wants to become a devotee, it is Lord's prerogative that he will make a arrangement for that fellow to become devotee. Nobody can stop a person who wants to become devotee. If, for example, if IIT professor wants to become devotee, he goes to his temple directly, purchases a copy of Bhagavad Gita, and he reads. Nowadays, you go to the YouTube channel, there are so many devotees have spoken, lakhs of videos. Lakhs. I'm not saying thousands, lakhs of videos are available. Many, many big speakers have spoken. And if you want Sanskrit in predominant lectures, or you want fun predominant lectures, you want scientific lectures, you want logical lectures, all kinds of lectures are available. And people hear different speakers. At last they arrive at some certain speakers whom they are fond of. And they regularly hear also. So now the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is completely open. And modern day civilization is very open culture. Nobody can hide. And like for example, people who criticize making sadhus, people like Ramagala Pondal have made open videos. They are saying sadhu chalaga, correct now? They have made open videos. And how to join ISKCON full time, they have made open videos. Everything's putting, nobody can. And there are crores of people watching there, lakhs of people. Nobody can say, don't tell people to join ISKCON. Now the whole world has become fully open. And it's not that you have to go and sit with somebody and teach Gita. Ready-made Gita courses are available now. You just go to YouTube and write Bhagavad Gita. So many speakers here, hundreds of speakers. So speakers are available, lectures are available, temples are available, deities are waiting for you to go and worship. Beads, japa beads are available. Nowadays books are available free also. Go to any ISKCON temple, they give you free japa beads. They give you free Prabhupada books also. Many, like ISV, they give 200 Bhagavatam sets free to Pune for our non-earning students and people like that. So Bhagavatam sets are available free now for gift, as a gift. What is not available, you tell me, in this world now? That means
desire to.
That is all. That's the only thing we should talk about. All we need is a desire to become devotee. That's the only thing that's required in the world. And how will that come? First of all, we have to become ourselves serious devotees and set a very good example for others. When we set an example, one is a good example. And then provide the facilities for the people. And then provide the ambience. What is the ambience? Temple, all the ambience. They are worshipping the deities very nicely. The Lord is offered bhoga properly and Lord is pleased. One has to please the Lord. So make the temple ambience very, very spiritual. Nice sankirtan, nice katha, nice book distribution, nice activities in the temple. So when people come and see, they will say it's very vibrant temple. And the care for the visitors should be very good. And the knowledge transmission by the devotees living in the temple should be very good. So knowledge is at the head, care is for the heart. So when these two things are very well done, and the ambience of the temple should be very first class. The spiritual ambience. So the spiritual ambience, knowledge transmission, the care for the visitors. If these things are done, these are the, and then apart from that, the facilities for practicing devotion service. For example, if some boy says, like yesterday afternoon I saw, some boys, girls were here taking darshan. They were just sitting in the temple hall, just watching the deities. And some people are sitting in yogi mudra with eyes closed. Shanti, shanti, shanti. They're coming for peace. And they're very frustrated outside. Correct? Huh? Yeah. But if somebody is available here, they go and give them a mala, sit with them, talk to them a few minutes, and then give them some prasad. Then they will feel a very homely atmosphere. It's not that we are neglected when we go, somebody is there to take care. So, in this way, care, knowledge, spiritual ambience, facilities, and good example of the devotees. So, if these things are provided to people, these are all stimulants for desire. Right? And then when people read the books, they get doubts, they can come back and ask questions. And they get convincing answers. And that produces stronger desire to practice more seriously. Correct? No? Actually, gone are the days, maybe a decade ago or 2 decades ago, there was a lot of lockup of the knowledge. You cannot go into college, you cannot go to hostel, you cannot give lecture. There are so many restrictions, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You are a secular thing and this and that. Now gone, all those things are washed away thoroughly. Anybody can go anywhere now. Sadhus are called, sadhus are given, so many sadhus are given lakhs of rupees for giving seminars nowadays. Yeah. And Bhagavad Gita is now so popular nowadays. Just yesterday I got a letter from Srinivas's MBA. They have 500 students joining in the first year. They're saying, please give management principles from Bhagavad Gita. They're giving us 40 hours. They're saying, please kindly give us a course. Now they are coming to temple and begging now, you please, because they understood that the people who are spiritually sound, they are having an extra edge over others. Than the other people who may be skilled and smart, but who don't have that spiritual base. People without spiritual base lack integrity, lack good character, lack good habits. Although they may be very skilled and competent, they are untrustworthy. So many colleges and companies have started understanding the need for spiritual base now. So market is open. We all have to have a desire to become strong devotees ourselves and do the best we can, because the Kali Yuga, the first 10,000 years and golden age, that is why things are opening up now, very much. So that is we can say the golden age of Kali Yuga is this 10,000 years. Only 500 are over now. Another 9,500 years we have. In fact, the demands are so much, we won't be able to cater the demands. There's so much demands. Shri Prabhupada ki.
I have one question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have time, otherwise I
I
can.
can tell you.
I think, and so I also have a son who is very, 2.5 years old. I sometimes feel like, this the children, they are not exposed to this thing. Like when I was growing up, at least we read a little bit about Varnashram. But now this time I read Srimad Bhagavatam, like what Prahlad Maharaj was teaching, Prahlad Maharaj was talking about the Brahminical order, and then Narada Muni was talking to Radheshyam about the ideal family life. These type of things, like it should be taught to at least to children, schools, in the schools, right? So that at least they know that what they are prepared.
Right.
So my broader question is there any type of idea behind Gurukul or some sort of schools where we can impart this type of things?
Yeah, devotee only can do that.
Yes.
India we have facility in India.
In India?
India, they have such facility, many places I know. Here in US, I don't know where all they have. You can find out. In some places they're doing homeschooling, they're doing homeschooling. Yeah, you can take the island. So we need people, a group of families have to come together.
Yes.
You know, help one another. They can do that. That's how they can do that.
Yes.
Otherwise, for you to do alone may be challenging for the child. You need multiple support of various devotees. Yeah.
But yes, and I think
We can have one word with our Ramchandra Prabhu.
with Ram.
Okay. Because Ramchandra was two daughters.
Yes.
What are they doing? We can also say how they are raising them. In our community here, in America, there are some online support you get. Some people are doing. Now you have one word. Those who are raising the children in our Krishna consciousness is very important. In this, I would say in our generation, what happens